Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we dive into the shadows of the unexplained. Tonight I've got a story that's been chilling me to the bone ever since I first heard it. It's called The Girl Who Knocked After She Died, and it's one of those real-life tales that blurs the line between the living and the dead. Picture this, a quiet family home in the English countryside, the kind with creaky floors and secrets in the walls. A little girl named Emily, just 8 years old, full of life one moment, gone the next. But here's the twist, she didn't stay gone. She came back, knocking. If you're watching this late at night, maybe turn on a light. This one's going to get under your skin. Let's step into the story. It was a rainy autumn evening in 1987, in a sleepy village outside Manchester. The Hargrove family, Dad Tom, a factory worker with calloused hands and a kind smile, Mum Sarah, who baked the best scones, and their daughter Emily, with her wild curly hair and endless questions about the stars, were just settling in for the night. Emily had been fighting a fever for days, but tonight it broke. Or so they thought. She was pale, her breath shallow, but she managed a weak grin as Sarah tucked her into bed with her favorite stuffed rabbit. Tom kissed Emily's forehead, whispering, "Sweet dreams, love. Tomorrow we'll chase fireflies in the garden." Sarah lingered a moment longer, brushing a damp curl from her daughter's brow. The house was old, built in the 1800s with drafts that whispered through the cracks like forgotten voices. As they closed the door, the rain pattered harder against the panes, a soothing rhythm that masked the quiet gasp from within. Downstairs, Tom poured a cup of tea while Sarah flipped through a magazine by the fire. The clock ticked steadily, 9:15 p.m. They chatted about mundane things, the neighbor's new car, Emily's school play. Laughter echoed softly, a fragile bubble in the storm. But at 9:47, a thud from upstairs shattered it. Sarah's head snapped up. "What was that?" Tom shrugged it off. Probably the cat knocking over a toy. Cats don't thud like that, though. Not with purpose. They waited, ears straining. Silence. Then another sound, faint like a child's footfall. Sarah's heart quickened. "Emily?" No answer. Tom climbed the stairs, his boots heavy on the creaks. The hallway was cold, unnaturally so, as if the warmth had been sucked out. He pushed open Emily's door. She lay still, the rabbit clutched tight. But her chest? It wasn't rising. Tom's world tilted. He rushed to her side, shaking her gently. "Emily? Wake up, Poppet." Sarah appeared in the doorway, her scream tearing through the house like glass. They called for the doctor, neighbors, anyone, but it was too late. Emily was gone, just like that, in the blink of an autumn rain. The village mourned. Flowers piled at the gate. But grief has a way of sharpening the senses, doesn't it? Making you hear things that aren't there. The funeral was small, under gray skies. Emily in a white dress, hands folded over daisies. Tom and Sarah buried her in the churchyard, the soil heavy and reluctant. Back home, the house felt hollow. They avoided her room, boarding it up like a wound. Nights blurred into weeks. Sarah cooked less. Tom stared at walls. And then, one evening, as winter nipped at the windows, it started innocently enough. A knock, soft, from Emily's door. Tom was in the kitchen, knife midway through an apple. Sarah froze in the lounge. "Did you hear that?" He nodded, setting the knife down. They approached the boarded door together, hearts pounding like war drums. Tom pressed his ear to the wood. Nothing. "Old house settling," he muttered. But his voice wavered. Houses don't knock back. That night, sleep evaded them. Sarah lay awake, staring at the ceiling where glow-in-the-dark stars, Emily's favorites, still faintly shimmered. A pattern emerged over the next days. Knocks at midnight, always three, deliberate, rap, 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 from behind the boards. They told themselves it was grief's echo, the mind playing tricks. But Tom started sleeping with a hammer by the bed, just in case. One stormy Tuesday, Sarah couldn't take it. She pried the boards off with trembling hands while Tom was at work. Dust motes danced in the flashlight beam. Emily's room was untouched, bed made, toys in place. The rabbit sat sentinel on the pillow, its glass eyes accusing. Sarah touched it, whispering apologies. That's when the first chill hit, like icy fingers on her neck. She stepped inside, the air thick and stale, smelling of lavender and something metallic. Footprints, no, handprints, smudged the floorboards, small as Emily's. Sarah's breath caught. She backed out, slamming the door, nailing it shut tighter than before. But the knocks didn't stop. If anything, they grew insistent, echoing through the walls like a child's plea. Tom came home to find Sarah rocking in the chair, eyes red. "It's her," she whispered. "She wants in." He held her, but doubt gnawed at him. The village whispered ghost stories, they said. Old houses hold grudges. That night, as thunder rolled, the knocks came from downstairs. The front door, rap, rap, rap. Tom peered through the peephole, empty porch, rain slicked. Fear turned to routine. They'd ignore it, huddle under blankets, whispering prayers half-remembered from childhood. But Emily's absence was a void, and the knocks filled it with something worse. Presence. Sarah started seeing flashes. A curl of hair in the mirror, a small shadow darting down the hall. "Mom?" A voice like wind through chimes, gone before she could turn. Desperate, they called Father Ellis from the church. He came at dawn, Bible in hand, sprinkling holy water that sizzled on the floorboards. "Spirits cling to the unfinished," he said gravely. They performed the rite. Incense, chants, crosses etched in salt. For a week, silence reigned. Hope flickered. Maybe it was over. Then the escalation. Not just knocks. Scratches now, nails on wood, frantic. From the ceiling. Sarah woke to it one night, bolting upright as plaster dust rained down. A message clawed into the beam above her bed. "Let me in." Emily's handwriting, childish loops and all. Tom saw it too. No denying now. Their daughter was trapped, raging against the veil. They fled to Tom's sisters in the city, leaving the house locked tight. But the knocks followed, in the radiator pipes on the car window during drives. A policeman pulled them over once, asking why the missus was screaming at nothing. "She's out there," Sarah sobbed. Knocking to get back. The sister suggested therapy. Tom bought a gun. Months passed. They returned, compelled by some magnetic pull. The house had changed. Windows cracked without cause, toys rearranged in Emily's room like she'd been playing. One night Tom dreamed of her, small hand extended, skin cold as marble.
"Daddy, it's dark here."
"Knock, knock, let me play." He woke sweating, the sound real from the closet. He wrenched it open, empty, but a giggle, high, innocent, bubbled from the vent. Sarah joined him, face ashen. They sealed every crack, every seam with tape and prayers. The knocks softened to taps, then whispers. "Mummy, cold." Sarah broke then, clawing at the walls herself. "Come back. We didn't mean to leave you." The climax came on Emily's birthday, what would have been her 9th. They'd baked a cake, lit a single candle in the empty dining room. As they sang, off-key and tearful, the knocks thundered, every door, every window, a cacophony of fury. Lights flickered. The cake toppled, frosting spelling her name in red. Glass shattered upstairs. They ran toward the sound, hearts in throats. Emily's door hung open, board splintered. Inside, the rabbit levitated, spinning slowly. And there, oh God, Emily stood at the window, back to them, small frame silhouetted against the storm. Her dress white, pristine, she turned slowly. Face, wrong. Eyes black voids. Mouth a rictus grin. "Mum? Dad?" Her voice but layered, echoing from a well. Tom raised the gun, trembling. "Emily?" She tilted her head unnaturally. "Play with me. Forever." Sarah lunged forward, arms outstretched. The thing that was Emily hissed, recoiling. Wind howled, ripping curtains, flinging toys like shrapnel. Tom fired, once into the ceiling, the bang shattering the illusion. The figure dissolved into mist, rabbit thudding to the floor. Silence crashed in heavier than before. They collapsed, sobbing as dawn crept gray through the shards. Was it her, or something wearing her skin? Hungry for the warmth they'd stolen. Father Ellis returned, sealing the house with rites fiercer than before. They burned Emily's things in the garden, ashes scattering like regrets. The knocks faded to echoes, then nothing. But scars lingered, nightmares of small fists on glass, whispers in the rain. Years on, Tom and Sarah moved to America, seeking fresh starts in a bustling suburb outside Chicago. The English house sold quick, to a family with no questions. But habits die hard. On stormy nights, Sarah still checks locks thrice. Tom keeps a rabbit's foot keychain, ironical talisman. They never spoke of it much, not even to their therapist. Grief's ghost, she'd say. But deep down they knew. Emily, or what claimed her, waited. patient, knocking in dreams, in the creak of floorboards under new feet. One Christmas, a card arrived from the village, unsigned, postmarked Manchester. Inside, a drawing, childish curls, a house, a girl knocking. "Miss you, let me in." Sarah burned it, but the paper wouldn't catch. Flames danced, reforming the ink. Tom saw her last in the rear view as they drove away from a family gathering. Small face in the backseat window of a passing car, pressing palms to glass. Rap, rap, rap. He blinked, gone, but the chill stayed, burrowing deep. Now decades later, the Hargroves are ghosts themselves, aged, quiet, telling this to no one but you, dear viewer. Was it real? A haunting madness? Or the veil thinning, letting the dead knock hello? Or goodbye? Whatever it was, it reminds us. Death isn't always final. Sometimes it lingers at the door, small and insistent. Next time you hear a knock in the dead of night, answer carefully, or don't answer at all. And there you have it, folks. The tale of the girl who knocked after she died. A story that crosses oceans from misty English lanes to American streets, proving some chills know no borders. If this gave you goosebumps, hit that like button, subscribe for more shadows in the night, and drop in the comments. Ever heard unexplained knocks? Sleep tight, but lock your doors. See you in the next one.